Меня слышно? Или не слышно? Зашибись. Ну сейчас подождем. Еще может кто присоединиться. Если нет, наплевать. Буду играть с самим собой. Неплохо. Ты давно подписался? Что-то тебя на стримах не видел ни разу. А ты подписчик или ты просто стрим нашел? Мне вот это интересно. Просто у меня это не основной канал. Ну вот хоть кто-то перешел. Спасибо. А давно подписан. Так, а если я нажму на F2? О, это прямо срок. Так, а вот это уже проблема. Мне не показывает... А, во, показывает игру, все. Только почему-то как-то заторможено. Интересно, почему так тормозит? Короче, ладно, насрать. Погнали. Так, ну раз никого нет, я могу в чат не смотреть. В принципе. И играть в свое удовольствие. Так, погнали. Так, детективное агентство Пирса, Бостон. Бостон, 1924 год. Эдвард Пирс, ветеран Первой мировой войны, пытается заглушить свои воспоминания алкоголем и снотворным. Он стал частным детективом, но никак не может найти дело, способное вывести его из апатии. Пирс должен как можно скорее найти нового клиента, иначе рискует потерять лицензию. Жесть. Безумие и есть благо. Говарда Филипса Лавкрафта. Привет, ребята, у меня, короче, почему-то... А, вот, теперь вроде все вовремя. У меня, короче, видео отстает примерно секунд на 5. Вот. Так, ой, мышка что-то очень быстро дергается, я так не люблю. О. Вот так, наверное, будет отлично. О, супер. Так, короче. Ну, понятно. Я играю в игру эту второй раз. Так, вы, короче, не сможете трогать какие-то предметы, пока их не осветите. Ой. Ага, прыгать тут нельзя. А, вот тут, наверное, можно пройти. Я как помню, эта игра тупо... Тут надо ходить, тут экшена-то будет совсем мало. Ходить... Ой, а тут ведь можно на геймпаде играть вроде, да? О, зашибись. Просто если есть игры, можно играть на геймпаде, который мне подарила жена за немаленькие деньги. Я люблю играть на геймпаде. Тем более у меня геймпад классный. Ой. Ты последуешь за мной. Бесполезно сопротивляться невозможно. Так, коса... Вот это, кстати... Какое отвратительное подношение. В Death Stranding, кстати, есть что-то похожее. Только там киты, а тут касатки и акулы. Я помню, я когда в нее играл давным-давно на старом компьютере. Не сопротивляйся, ты был избран. Короче, я дошел до какого-то монстра, где там надо рандомно выбрать какой-то кинжал, и у меня не получалось, и компьютер постоянно лагал, и я ее удалил. Но сейчас я думаю, мы пройдем до конца ее.
Has already been written. But perhaps you will attempt to change your destiny.
Так, это, я так понимаю, нам показывают то, что возможно когда-то случится. Вроде как. Наверное, говорит со мной я сам. Так, это мы проснулись у себя в офисе.
I wonder why I still take these things.
Так, снотворные таблетки. Мне их прописали врачи, когда я вернулся с войны. Они клялись, что таблетки покончат с кошмарами, но в последнее время их действительно действие ослабляет. Ослабевает. Короче, таблетки ему не помогают. Так, белье.
Been too long since I've slept in a bed.
Давно я не спал на настоящей кровати.
The lost battalion. Holding your position and obeying orders.
Так, это, наверное, его батальон.
I used to be an avid reader.
Когда-то я много читал. Да не сказать бы, что много. Так. Угу.
The Wentworth Agency doesn't attract top-notch cases.
Так, это, наверное, какая-нибудь грамота его агентства. А меня нормально слышно?
Married woman runs off with her girlfriend. The husband couldn't understand it.
Так, закрытое дело какое-то. Муж так и не понял, что жена его бросила. Он мне звонил еще несколько недель после завершения расследования. Замужняя жена сбегает с подружкой. Муж так ничего и не понял. О, повестка, как понимаю.
A good old story of blackmail in a speakeasy.
Так, еще одно дело. Раскрытое дело. Нанявшему меня владельцу бара не понравилось, как я закрыл дело. Но если ты нарушаешь закон, сложно спорить с частным детективом, который собрал доказательства твоей вины. Старая добрая история шантажа в подпольном баре.
Natural sciences, linguistics, archaeology. I should get rid of all this stuff.
Так, ну тут все детективские дела какие-то, все. Так, музыку из Fallout выключим.
Been a while since I jotted down something other than my nightmares.
Опа, кто-то звонит. Так, что тут делать? Так, дело. Детективное агентство Пирса. Детективное агентство Пирса. Октябрь 1924 год. Врач может сколько угодно твердить, что лекарство от воспоминаний мне больше не нужно, но я знаю, что они вернутся, если я перестану принимать таблетки. Наверное, однажды утром я просто не проснусь. А, воспоминания. Короче, какие-то у него воспоминания, которые он глушит таблетками. Несмотря на лечение, я снова слышу голоса в своих снах, но теперь они новые, незнакомые. Голоса словно доносятся из древней бездны. Что за безымянная тварь вызывает ко мне? Так, погоди. О, бухло. Выпить, конечно. Давай, погнали. Еху. Мы же во вселенной Лавкрафта, конечно. Давай еще. Погнали, еп. Тут можно напиться, интересно. Ну-ка. Какой классный стакан. Из него прям не уходит. О, что-то происходит. Ну понятно, он уже отрезвел. Такого не бывает.
I'm listening.
Я слушаю.
Private investigator contracted by the Wentworth Detective Agency?
That's correct.
Hello, Mr. Pierce. I'm Lucy Sherifield, in charge of investigators over at Wentworth. I'm calling because of a problem with your file. A fire has destroyed some of our documents.
Is that right?
I'm so very sorry, but I have to collect your personal information yet again.
Ой. Так, распределите очки персонажа. Каждое очко позволяет улучшить какой-нибудь навык. А у меня их сколько? А, 8. Так, ну, наверное, красноречие. Ой, я несколько раз дофигакнул. Психология давай. Сила-то тут в этой игре, наверное, сильно-то не нужна. Так, поиск. Вот, давай вот так. Вот так, и все.
Thank you for this information, Mr. Pierce. Our files will soon be up to date. And on a related matter, may I raise a sensitive question?
What's wrong?
As you know, we wish to closely monitor the progress of our contractors. And it would seem you've been accepting fewer new cases.
Work is scarce.
Mr. Pierce, you know as well as I do there's never been more investigative work than now.
But are those cases worth it?
They're worth not losing your license. Show yourself worthy of the Wentworth Detective Agency, and we might keep you on the payroll. Mr. Pierce used to...
Короче, позвонила какая-то баба и начала нас гнать.
Sir, I came here on the advice of a person whom I hold in high esteem, and I must say that I expected anything but a drunkard's lair.
You're free to leave anytime, sir.
Do you know to whom you speak?
Stephen Webster, industrialist and art collector. All of Boston knows you.
Tell me, Mr. Pierce, are you capable of handling a new case, or are you simply a deadbeat inebriate?
If you come to me, it means you're desperate.
Я просто
Nobody
никчемный
believes me.
пьяница, можно так
They take me
ответить.
for an old fool. Sarah, my little girl. She is dead. Even you must know of her. She was Sarah Hawkins.
The painter? Yes. Everyone knows her work.
The police accuse her of killing her family. They all died in a fire. Sarah, her husband, and Simon, my grandson.
I can't do anything for a woman who is already dead.
Find out the truth. They say she was mad, but I know that's a lie. She would never have done such a thing.
But if you have no proof...
I've brought all that I have. Look. I want you to look carefully at this painting. Tell me all the assumptions
Короче,
that come to mind.
вот этот чувак, он какой-то, как я понял, большая шишка. У него умерла дочь, художница.
What am I supposed to find?
И он пришел к нам, чтобы запомнить, чтобы мы разобрались, в чем дело.
Or if, on the contrary, you manage to detect some logic, a rationality to follow so that I may understand it.
Is that all you want from me?
Yes, please.
All right. I'll look at your picture. That's all you've got? The painting?
I placed a file on your desk. It contains everything I have on the affair.
Так, ну давай посмотрим на картину.
What's this symbol on the man's chest? It's as if Sarah Hawkins breathed a message into it.
Так. Вот нам уже детектив говорит, что в картине что-то она запечатлила.
A warehouse on Darkwater. Some sketches of the Hawkins family. Rather thin.
Так, склад на острове Даркуотер. Несколько набросков семьи Хокинс. Не густо. Папка с делом Сары Хокинс. Так, транспортная этикетка, часть текста не разобрать, но кое-что прочитать удается. Склад номер 36, Даркуотер. Полицейский отчет. Тут говорится, что все члены семьи погибли, а пожар начался в столовой. Полиция заключила, что это был несчастный случай, но при этом в отчете упоминается, что Сара Хокинс была психически неустойчива. Почему? Газетная вырезка. Статья рассказывает о браке Сары Хокинс в девичестве Уэбстер и Чарльза Хокинса, бизнесмена с острова Даркуотер. Они ведут затворническую жизнь на удаленном острове со своим сыном Саймоном.
So, Mr. Pierce, what do you make of these elements?
Так. Так, ну давайте сначала узнаем о складе.
The sender's label mentions Warehouse 36.
That's right. It came with Sarah's last painting.
And you think your daughter could have been the sender?
That is what you must find out. Go to Darkwater. Find Warehouse 36.
Так, где жила Сара?
Darkwater? Never heard of the place. Where is that?
It's a small, remote island off the coast of Boston. Sarah lived there with her son and her husband.
I suppose you want to ship me off there.
Darkwater holds the secret regarding my daughter, Mr. Pierce. You must uncover it.
Так. К этой картине нужно отнестись серьезно.
The meaning could be exactly as it appears. I think your daughter is sending you a message.
That's what I believe, too. It was 3 months ago that I received the call from the police telling me of my daughter's death. And yet a short while after, this painting was delivered to my home. The painting is linked to this case, can't you see? You must find the meaning behind all this.
В отчете говорится о психической неустойчивости.
You must tell me if what the police suggest about the mental state of your daughter is true.
No. Sarah had visions. Everyone knew that. She never would have hurt a fly. She only thought she saw things.
Saw things? What do you mean by that?
I never knew what she meant by that. My daughter was an enigmatic figure, Mr. Pierce. You must find out the truth about her life and death.
Так, что-то не так в этой истории.
Her husband was a big deal on the island. But the police are sticking to the accident theory. Though they mention Sarah's mental state was fragile. I believe you are right, sir. This case is not as simple as it appears.
I am aware of that. I believe there is more to this case than just an accident.
Так, ну мне, короче, все
I
понятно.
think I'm beginning to understand.
I'm willing to do anything for my daughter to recover her honor.
Quiet down. I'm on your side. Let's sum things up. An artist dies with her family in a house fire. Your only clue is a sort of promontory painting sent from Darkwater right before her death.
Correct. And the rumors about her supposed folly.
Which you don't totally deny.
Find that warehouse. Find out the truth regarding Sarah Hawkins' death. You'll be handsomely compensated.
All right, I'll take the case. I'll go to Darkwater and look into the death of your daughter.
Короче, мы отправляемся на какой-то остров
I didn't
расследовать
expect any less coming from a man in your
этот
situation.
смерть
Something's
дочери вот
screwy.
этого чувака.
But it's not like I have a choice. Darkwater. I think I've got a book on the North Atlantic. I'll no doubt find some information on this island.
Так, основы медицины, том 1. Научный труд для интернов и молодых врачей. В первом томе перечислены все болезни, известные цивилизованному миру, описаны симптомы и способы лечения. То есть можно подбирать такие вот книжки, и будет типа персонаж качаться. Так, дополнительное задание узнать про остров.
Natural sciences, linguistics, archaeology. Darkwater is off the coast of Boston. But I've never heard of it.
Так,
According to this
этот
book,
остров находится, короче,
it was often
недалеко от
mentioned during
Бостона.
whale hunting times at the end of the 19th century. But it seems to have been shunned since then.
Так, остров Даркуотер населен это, наверное, 14 века, и на нем до сих пор можно найти множество следов пропавших племен. Но пусть романтика этих наивных и примитивных верований не обманет вас. Не забывайте, каким жестокими были местные боги. Изображения гигантского существа все еще украшают стены давно заброшенных пещер. Откуда пришло к своим почитателям это божество? Из моря или из безумных сновидений? Никто не знает ответа. Но современные обитатели острова, сыновья и дочери гордых китобоев, все еще помнят таинственную и волнующую историю крохотного клочка суши у берегов Массачусетса.
All I have to do is go to
Так,
the
короче,
port.
мы едем к китобоям.
I just hope that I can find a boat able to take me to Darkwater.
Так, глава 2. Порт Даркуотера. Пирс взял дело Хокинсов. Проклятую художницу обвиняют в том, что устроила пожар, который и убил ее вместе со своей семьей. Единственная улика — страшная картина, которую она отправила отцу. На транспортной этикетке был указан адрес склада, расположенного в доках острова Даркуотер. Именно с этого места Пирс и начал расследование. Вот такие дела. Так, но сейчас этот остров, конечно, будет походить на Инсмут, скорее всего. О, это типа начало еще только. Как в кино.
We're almost there.
Call of Cthulhu. Ого, как он легко ящик поднял. Как будто он ничего и не
There's
весит.
guys coming to unload.
Оп.
Welcome to Darkwater Island, Mr. Pierce.
Why, thank you, Captain Fitzroy.
So, what wind brought you?
Что за ветер
Does
принес
the
тебя
Hawkins
сюда?
case mean anything to you?
Дело Хокинсов. О чем-то вам говорит?
A sad story that we would all
Печальная
prefer to
история, которую мы все
Charles
хотим
Hawkins
забыть.
may have been a landlubber, but he was a good man.
And his wife, Sarah Hawkins.
Короче, кому интересно, читайте
Nice young
субтитры.
woman and a great painter. What a tragedy.
You know what? Go have a drink at the Stranded Whale. What you need is a
Так,
good
ну вот мы,
pick-me-up.
короче,
Mitchell may not
в
be very
городе
welcoming, but his
типа
bar
Инсмут, а
holds a
это на самом
surprise
деле
for
типа
you.
не Инсмут.
As for me, you'll find me at the harbor master's office.
А у него есть
If
даже
it's the
свой
Hawkins
офис.
family that brings you here, I have a pile of documents that should interest you.
Understood. I'm going for a look around the docks.
Блять, походу тут в этой игре читать придется очень много, да? Так-то атмосферненько вообще. Ну, прямо... Прям как будто по Лавкрафту. Да? Так, дополнительное задание. Идти в бар. Пойдем в бар. Вот, наверное, бар. Как я помню. Тут, наверное, сейчас будут моряки. Спасибо.
Hey, be careful. Let's get him another drink. He's dry.
In my bar, we don't serve troublemakers.
Так, в моем баре нарушителей порядка не обслуживают. Так, я чуть
Yet
не
you served
нарывался.
this man, and you can't say he's been on his best behavior.
He's a regular. It was you who provoked him by turning up with your mainland manner.
You mistake my manner. I ask nothing more than to become a regular as well, which will be difficult if you refuse to serve me.
I hope you're less talkative when you're drunk.
Try me.
We'll see.
Так, ну давай закажем
Captain
игроков.
Fitzroy told me about a little pick-me-up.
You want a drink?
I wouldn't say no to a glass.
Try this.
I think we'll get along well.
Так, ну-ка рассказывай мне про остров.
The Stranded Whale.
Почему хит
I guess
навели?
this bar has been here a long time.
What can I tell you? I'm a nostalgic sort of guy. The name, it reminds us of the golden age of Darkwater, when our whalers left for long months and came back sweating and stinking of the oil and flesh of the whales they'd been hunting.
It was a tough time, all the same.
Ah, but steeped in glory. We've never known such wealth since then.
Так, узнать про Сару Хокинс.
What can you tell me about her?
We all knew she was famous on the mainland for her paintings. Never understood why. Then, I don't want to speak ill of the dead.
Так, у меня мозг прокачан, поэтому сейчас, наверное, вот это вот должно сработать.
You don't dare say a thing because you respect their memory. But that doesn't mean that you don't have a lot on your mind.
You're not a PI for nothing. Okay. I don't know what it's worth, though. but Mrs. Hawkins, and she went to see her doctor very often.
She was sick.
Ah, I shouldn't have mentioned it to you. Forget it.
Ну-ка,
Her vision. Was it so terrible?
Way I see it, the truth is really a question of point of view.
What do you mean by that?
Do you still trust the truth after a bottle of whiskey?
Her style made her famous. How would you describe it? Tortured?
Yeah? Well, it wasn't normal. I mean, for a young woman with a child and all that. We saw them in the papers and we said to ourselves, who can paint such things? Is that how she sees the world?
So they made you feel uncomfortable.
You need to see them for yourself. Make up your own mind.
Так, короче, эта бабца тут была такая, типа,
I've got what
странненькая.
I need.
Не
Anything
нормис.
else?
What can you tell me about her?
We all knew she was famous on the mainland for her paintings. Never understood why. Then, I don't want
Так, это...
I've got what I need.
anything else.
Так, давай просто...
You know where this place is? Warehouse 36, Darkwater Harbor.
The Hawkins warehouse. I see, yeah. If I were you, I wouldn't hang around there.
Why not?
First off, there are rumors. Sailors from around here say you can hear noises coming from the warehouse at night. Screams, that sort of thing.
Screams.
And that's not all. There's the fate of its owners and all the superstitions that go with it. But I'll say no more. Anything else?
Так, здесь сухой закон действует.
I didn't expect to find alcohol on this island. What's the source of this miracle?
You mean who? Our source of supply wouldn't like me to betray them to the first comer.
I'll tell nobody.
She'd know it anyway. Anything else?
Так, я что-то
I
пропустил.
didn't expect to find alcohol on this island. What's the source of this miracle?
You mean who? Our source of supply wouldn't like me to betray them to the first comer.
I'll tell nobody.
She'd know it anyway. Anything else?
Так, у них есть какой-то поставщик алкоголя. Так, это я уже все.
That'll be all for now.
Так. Что тут есть еще интересного?
And then he said, "You have no right to treat us like this."
And the doctor, what did he say?
He laughed.
My
Так,
God.
мужики болтают. Тут что?
The miraculous catch. Apparently, the most significant event of the last 80 years.
Так, чудесный улов. Очевидно, самое значительное событие за последние 80 лет. Шанти, 21 июля 1847 года. Чудесный улов. Сцилла возвращается в порт, чтобы спасти Даркуотер от голода. Мы почти оставили надежду. Команда Сциллы, или то, что от нее осталось, вернулась в порт Даркуотера во вторник вечером. Местные немедленно бросились в доки, чтобы встретить последнее китобойное судно на острове. Невероятный улов потряс людей. Китообразная, которую уже прозвали чудесным уловом, занимала всю палубу и даже свисала с борта. Оно было больше любого зубатого кита. Выжившие моряки рассказали ужасную историю о своей опасной добыче, а также о ее мясе невероятно вкусном и питательном. Несомненно, огромный кит прокормит многочисленных жителей Даркуотера и положит конец голоду, терроризирующему остров. Сдается склад. Короче, понятно. Так, остров тут, в общем, бедствует. Вот, какой-то тоже чувак.
Nightmares. Can hear things and voices whispering. Will follow its reader and appear at various locations, gifted with its own consciousness. Until it
О,
finds
говорят,
a
чувак
new
есть в
reader.
татуировках.
Ah, that's it. Maybe we should let him take it. No. No, the risks are too high. It's a book, after all. Pure
Так,
knowledge.
чуваки
You
поют.
like our song?
We're true sirens.
We may not be pros, but we give it all we've got.
That's true. It's a reminder of the time when we were still fishing for whales off Darkwater Island.
Так, чё тут?
What brought whaling to an end?
The whales, of course.
They all disappeared.
You
Так,
exhausted the
киты куда-то
stocks.
исчезли,
You could
короче.
say that, yes. There were fewer and fewer of them.
Until the last.
Biggest. The one of the miraculous catch.
Exactly. I've never heard this song before.
Only people from here know it. It tells the story of the miraculous catch.
I saw the newspaper clipping. You don't believe it, do you? Watch what you say, young man.
That catch saved our island.
Ah. Where's the proof?
We're the proof.
Without it, the whole of Darkwater would have died of hunger in 1847.
It's true. Everything happened just as it says in the newspaper report. Our grandparents tasted its flesh.
And it was delicious.
Короче, они
farewell,
рассказывают про кита, вот, про
Good night,
которого мы только что читали.
stranger.
So long.
Так, и тут еще важно, вот эта баба сидит.
What you looking at, stranger?
Ты умеешь пить.
I've rarely seen a woman who can hold her liquor so confidently.
What gives you the right to judge me?
Ah, it was a compliment.
So what? Let me drink, stranger. I told you to beat it. I told you to beat it. I told you to beat it.
Угу. Неразговорчивая. Интересно, ни у кого не возникает вопросов, что от фонарика излучается какой-то зеленый свет. Ой,
Prohibition is just a joke around here. That suits me fine.
так. Мужики стоят. О, можно бегать.
But you can stay to watch if you want. You
There's
can
nothing
pick up
for you
the
here
pieces.
either.
Come on,
Beat
you
it.
bastard. You'll see what a true sailor's got in his belly.
Так, туда нельзя.
Please move back. Let the police do their work. Hey, Sullivan. Can't you go any faster?
Так, полицейский.
Same goes for you, sir. Move along.
They seem to be very agitated about a dead animal.
You're telling me? These fools think that putting the whale back in the water will bring about the end of the world.
They're superstitious.
If only you knew. They only listen to Captain Fitzroy. And not always. And you. What brings you to our island?
I'm looking for this address. Warehouse 36, Darkwater Harbor.
I like you, so I'll be frank with you. Don't go near the place. Don't try to get in.
Why?
Because I told you so. Learn to accept some friendly advice. Now, please, allow me to do my job.
You can't understand. Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters. You're crazy.
You can see that I'm busy, can't you?
You can't understand. You're not sailors. Oh, yeah? It's a sign.
The blood is just beginning to coagulate. It died a short time ago. Killer whales have few predators. And there are no sharks in these waters. What creature could possibly have done this?
You can't understand. You're not
Так, короче, я так понимаю, кита пожрала какая-то тварь.
These wounds. I know of no animal that could
И
have
это точно не акула.
You can't understand. You're not sailors. It's a sign. There's something coming. Trouble. Something real bad. Don't put that beast
Так,
back in
а
the
чуваки
water, you
нас
shysters. You're crazy.
туда дальше не пропускают. Поговорить с Фитцером. Это, наверное, тот чувак.
I brought out the Charles Hawkins cargo manifests. They're on the table next to you. But in truth, you're likely to be disappointed. When you're done, come join me on the deck.
Так, бумаги,
Vasilla.
кораблик.
It finished up beached at the entrance to the harbor. This man and Fitzroy could be twins.
Так, фотографии капитана Фицроя. Это он типа когда молодой был, наверное.
What a macabre souvenir.
Так, это чей-то костыль. Так, все, тут делать больше нечего. О, основы медицины, том 2. Подкачались немножко. Да.
These manifests are signed by Charles
Эти декларации подписал Чарльз Хокинс, но больше ничего не понятно. Прочитать можно только несколько дат. 90-х годов и 7-й год, и еще несколько цифр. Прочее содержимое документа аккуратно вымарано. Короче, стерто. Интересно, кому потребовалось скрывать эту информацию. Я слов-то таких не знаю.
I wonder what Captain Fitzroy has got to say about this woman, Cat.
Интересно, что скажет капитан Фицрой об этой Кэт. Так, капитан, условия нашего соглашения однозначны. Держите своих людей под контролем, не задирайте нас, мы вам не по зубам. И не утруждайте себя ответом на это сообщение. Просто заплатите курьеру. Кэт. Это, наверное, та пьющая баба в баре. Больно она крутая.
Fishing equipment. Could do with some rust remover.
Угу. Туалет. Так, вдалеке маяк, все как надо.
From here, I see everything that goes on in the harbor. The hard-working lives of my sailors, the fights at the stranded whale. Even the antics of these wharf rats don't escape me.
It's you who lays down the law around here.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. I'm just the last serving captain on Darkwater. Tell me what I can do to help you.
Так. Ваши документы невозможно
Your
прочитать.
manifests have been blacked out. They're totally unreadable.
Yeah, I saw that. I've got no idea who did it or why. I don't remember having countersigned anything special enough for someone to hide it.
And why obliterate the dates, as well as the goods stored in the warehouse?
You mean that the dates have some meaning?
Так, чем же Чарльз Хокинс зарабатывал на жизнь?
I know that Charles Hawkins was descended from a family of ship owners, and the island's fishing industry was hit badly.
Indeed, we specialized in whaling, but no whalers went out to sea after the miraculous catch of 1847.
So where did the Hawkins family get its money?
Well, from what Charles inherited, I presume. Although, these dates on the manifests could indicate that he had contracts of another kind.
With whom, I wonder?
Так, проговорить с ним про этот остров. Кто такая Кэт?
I found a threatening letter, signed by a certain cat.
What? I don't mind you visiting my harbor master's office, but I'd prefer if you didn't go through my affairs.
Are you being blackmailed?
Not exactly, no. That shyster wants to make us pay protection money.
With any success?
I wouldn't say that, but she terrifies my men as much as her own.
Can you not do anything to stop her?
Don't you worry about that.
Так, какая-то баба, короче, запугала моряков. Так, улов.
The miraculous catch. Is it a local legend?
Not at all. It's an episode from our glorious past. Go read the story of the sailors' return to Darkwater Harbor. It's displayed on a wall of the stranded whale.
Так, короче, та история, которую мы читали про суперкита, типа это все по правде было.
I'm just back from the wharves. The dead killer whale is unsettling the sailors.
Ah, yes. Us men of the sea are superstitious folk.
Так, теперь разговариваем про кита, который тут у нас рядом валяется. Так, спросим про раны.
I examined its wounds. I know of no creature able to cause them.
And I took you for a detective.
Believe me when I say that these wounds are significant.
Come, come. You've only just arrived on Darkwater, and already you think like a sailor.
Так, короче, у них тут действует дедовщина. Зачем они хотят вернуть тело касатки
The
в
police
море?
took the decision to put the killer whale back into the sea.
You've got to understand them. They didn't know what to do with it.
I think that was a mistake. Who says that whatever caused those wounds is no longer in these waters?
You think we should have kept it?
To look into the real cause of its death, at least.
Так, человек там, где он
I was
молодой,
looking at
наверное.
your photograph. The one of the man in front of the boat.
Ah, yes, I can see the one you're talking about.
Interesting resemblance. I thought it was you, but with a wooden leg.
And for good reason. That's my father in the photograph.
Your father?
John Fitzroy, captain of the Scylla. His wooden leg is here. You can go and see it if you're interested.
Угу, понятно. Так, это все. И вот про склад, наверное, сейчас надо
I'm
спросить.
looking for warehouse 36. Do you know where it is?
Look, it's right there. The warehouse is opposite the jetty. You can't miss it.
Understood.
You know who the building belongs to, don't you?
It belonged to the Hawkins family.
Precisely.
I think that somebody here wanted me to search this warehouse. Can you tell me where...
Look, I've already shown it to you. It's the one with the cop on guard duty out front. You can't miss it.
Understood. I shall be on my way.
So come back and see me when you've got something new.
О, у меня получение очка. Так, навык расследования. Расследование отражает вашу способность вести следствие. Развитие этого навыка повышает шанс восстановить последовательность событий, проанализировав место преступления или предмет, а также шанс взломать замок. Психология отражает ваше понимание человеческой натуры. Развитие этого навыка повышает шанс понять мотивацию человека по его поведению или с помощью анализа различных предметов. Красноречие определяет вашу способность оказывать влияние на тех, с кем общаетесь. Развитие этого навыка повышает вероятность успешного убеждения или манипуляции во время разговора. Вот это да, так, сила. Так, ну сила понятна. Поиск отражает вашу способность находить спрятанные предметы. Развитие этого навыка повышает шанс найти скрытый объект. Ненайденные предметы не будут появляться в игре. Ой, рассудок. Так, что бы прокачать? Оккультизм. Оккультизм отражает ваши познания в оккультных науках. Развитие этого навыка повышает шанс определить назначение и происхождение оккультных артефактов, а также расширяет ваши знания о мифах. Так-то я люблю всегда красноречие качать. Наверное, оккультизм тоже надо качать. Но сначала красноречие. О. Надо уметь пиздеть, так сказать. Да. Так. А, это типа эти герои, которых я встретил. Так, это Стивен Уобстер. Это вот был в начале. Короче, он нам дал задание. Это отец этой Сары самый. Какой-то он богатый бизнесмен во вселенной. Так, это труп у нас. Это Чарльз Хокинс. Это муж и вот его дочери. Так, он вырос в семье судовладельца и много путешествовал. Во время поездки в Париж познакомился с Сарой Хокинс. Они полюбили друг друга и поженились, а затем Хокинс забрал ее на удаленный остров Даркуотер. У них родился мальчик по имени Саймон. Супруги вели замкнутый образ жизни. Блять, ну вот почему он похож на какого-то этого барбершопера? Так, это вот Сара Хокинс, из-за которой мы сюда приехали. 33. Ну, он еще тем более старше ее на много лет. Так, Сара Хокинс, художница, знаменитая своей способностью создавать зловещие образы. Своеобразные картины и редкое появление на публике снискали ей множество поклонников. Кажется, я припоминаю, как однажды она сказала: «Я рисую то, что нашептывают мне сны». Несколько лет назад она вышла замуж за Чарльза вот этого Хокинса, и этот брак удивил светских колумнистов. Бостонская наследница огромного состояния, известная среди прочего любовью к вечеринкам, решает последовать за мужем и стать затворницей на острове Даркуотер. Она пропала с первых полос газет, и никто больше о ней ничего не слышал. Даже ее смерть в огне осталась скрытой завесой тайны. И только Стивен Уобстер, ее отец, продолжает докапываться до истины. Вот такие дела. Короче, это Чарльз Пикман. Так, это, короче, их сын. Это этот бармен. Это капитан, который нас сюда привез. Так, улики. Так, это мы все читали. Так, это наша зажигалка. Моя старая зажигалка, на которой я сделал гравировку в память о 77-й пехотной дивизии и погибших бойцах пропавшего батальона. Так, это описание локаций. Так, и, наверное, вот этот чувак, который тут нарисован, это мы. Мне так кажется. Так, а что я тут еще не прочитал? Почему горит значок? Ну да ладно. А чё, я ж вроде вкачал. А. Так, значит, нам надо проникнуть на склад. Так, можно как-нибудь игру сохранить? Нет. Нельзя. А, и чуваки типа ушли, как только я поговорил. Понятненько. Ну, пойдем проникать на склад. Опа,
You
здорово.
saw what happened with those sailors. Don't hang around here unless you want trouble with the bootleggers.
I've seen the kind of messages their boss sends. You're not scared of her.
Of course I am. Everyone's scared of that woman. She's not interested in small fry like me. You, on the other hand, nose around too much, you'll have dealings with her.
Так, короче, у них тут матриархат, как я понимаю. А что тут делают бутыльгеры? Короче, это чуваки, которые раньше торговали незаконно алкоголем, если кто не знает. Когда был в Америке сухой закон.
This warehouse looks abandoned. Why does it interest them so much?
No doubt a question of territory, but I ain't asking. You want to know more, go ask the captain.
Good. Thank you. I shall take my leave.
Навык поиска, но, к сожалению, я не качал навык поиска. Ой, лестница.
It looks like there's a way in under this grate.
О,
A whale vertebra. If the newspaper clipping in the bar is true, this bone is a real fossil.
так, тут горит знак Ой, знак вопроса. Значит, тут что-то... Опа.
This ratchet device seems to be usable.
Какая-то штука. Опа.
A
Рычаг.
handle. It must come from these old winches.
Какая у него классная зажигалка, не тухнет.
I could use this old winch.
Так. Так. Так, и сюда, наверное, надо еще что-то вставить. Наверное, надо какую-нибудь типа веревки. Ой. О.
It should be possible to mount this cogwheel on the winch.
Повернуть.
Looks like everything is in its place. All that's left is to try to turn this handle.
Давай.
Damn, I broke it.
Well, well.
Ой.
A little mouse has got lost on our turf. You're not only inquisitive, you're also stupid. What gave you the crazy idea to come onto my turf?
Your turf? That's news to me.
For a guy who has no idea, you've been doing a fair bit of poking around. My men saw you staking out the Hawkins warehouse.
Is that against the law?
I'm no idiot, detective. I'll tell you how things work around here. I decide who comes in and who stays out. And anyone who doesn't respect my rules, I punish them.
Is your name Kat?
What of it?
Maybe we can come to an understanding.
Maybe. Or maybe not.
Ебать.
Get this joker out of here. He might have a little trouble walking on his own.
I'm getting careless. I didn't see that coming. If I want to get into this warehouse, I'm gonna have to deal with her.
Так вот нагнули.
You live here?
Why did you do that, huh?
We saw what you did to St. Brendan.
Yeah, we'll teach you to come onto our island and ridicule our protectors.
I've never heard of this saint. Is it a local belief?
But everyone knows St. Brendan, the navigator.
He's the patron saint of whales and whalers.
What happened to the statue?
Go see for yourself. He's at the end of the jetty.
There's you, our beloved statue, and then those two bozos behind us. Wait, now that I think about it, it's got to be them. There's one of them who's always going back and forth to the statue.
Quieter. That's all we need for them to hear us.
What brings you to Darkwater?
The two guys behind you. What are they guarding?
The bootleggers. Scum.
They're protecting their territory. From whom, I wonder?
They really don't have a choice anyway. They're more scared of Cat than an attack by...
If only they would kill each other.
Is it Cat who's shaking down Captain?
Hold on, just...
Nothing at all.
Так, узнать опять про остров.
That statue represents your local...
What do you mean by...
You wouldn't be looking down at us, like all townspeople do.
St. Brendan. He protected whalers until those assholes defaced him.
Peculiar house.
Yeah, that's where we live. Our boat.
It's not because it doesn't float anymore that we're going to abandon it.
Так, чуваки живут прямо в корабле.
Isn't it a bit early for alcohol?
We got nothing better to do anyway. There's not much work around here.
Fitzroy gives us a few chores every...
So we drink.
Так, короче, это
I've taken
понятно.
enough of your time.
We'll see you later.
Местный колорит.
Well,
Did you...
I've taken enough of your time.
we'll see you later.
Something real bad. Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters.
We're no longer at home on our own island.
Calm down. It's not worth the effort.
Так, эти чуваки все еще разбираются.
You didn't tell me that the warehouse I was looking for was right in front of us.
Because its owner is dead. And I don't want to see you hanging around it. Now please, leave us to our work.
Don't put that beast back in the
Понятно.
water, you shysters! You're crazy! They're cops. They can't understand.
Так, ну-ка.
No, if it gets out, I'll have serious problems with you-know-who.
I bet that you hid them somewhere in your hut. How could you be dumb enough to leave the entrance to the warehouses unguarded?
Keep your voice down. Why not go and shout at the cat while you're at it? I don't want to end up with her little knife under my throat.
It's a stiletto, you idiot. And with that smell on your breath, I don't give you much chance anyway.
Так, тут ничего нет.
Well,
Did you miss?
I've taken enough.
we'll see you.
Так, а это что за чел?
Where do you think you're going?
I'm not here to hinder your work, officer. Edward Pirs, private detective.
Sorry, we're all a little on edge today. What are you doing here?
I'm investigating the death of the Hawkins family.
Darn it. Why do you want to drag up all that stuff again?
My investigation has led me to this warehouse.
That case was closed months ago.
Who are these others so interested in the warehouse?
And why would I tell you?
Так, мы в одной команде.
You and I are on the same side of the law.
Oh, yeah?
You don't want to know the truth behind this case.
Are you saying our work was not up to snuff? Forget it.
What more can you say about the death of the Hawkins family?
Not much more than what everyone knows. I wasn't on the case. They were all burnt to death, right? Up at their place.
The whole mansion went up in flames.
Don't get it into your head to go wandering around up there. It's dangerous.
What do you mean by that?
The only one left there is old Silas, and the accident has affected him badly. He can be unpredictable, especially if a stranger starts poking around the property.
Is he a danger to the public?
No, he's in his own home. Do yourself a favor. Leave him well alone. You again? I told you to beat it.
No need to get worked up.
There's something coming. Something real bad.
You're back again. What can I do?
Apparently the bootleggers don't want anyone hanging around the warehouse.
They're part of the private property.
And yet the place looks abandoned. Why guard?
As a precaution, I suppose.
You mean that there's a way to go from one to the other, but
I couldn't tell you if it's still the case today for all the warehouse, but I think I can imagine what you've got in mind. You can always visit them if you're not the claustrophobic type. You're back at what can...
I shall be on my way.
So come back.
Так, короче, этот хер мне тоже ничего интересного не сказал. Наверное, кто-нибудь в баре что-нибудь скажет. А.
Hey, Mitchell. A drink for our new friend. I owe you. You don't know how to fight, but at least you've got guts.
Yeah. Aching guts.
Huh. I've got them too. But you don't hear me whining like a pooch who's lost its leash. You didn't back down. Something that I respect. So understand by that, if I catch you again, you'll carry a more permanent reminder of our encounter. Tell me, what brings you to Darkwater?
О,
I'm investigating the deaths of the Hawkins family.
It's very nice of you to tell me the truth so openly, but it's also really stupid of you. You really don't seem to know the area. Let me give you a little advice. If you want to survive more than a day in this rat hole, avoid talking about them to the first people you meet.
I've got a few questions about the island.
I'm not here to give you information. Mitchell will tell you what he wants to tell you.
Is that more dangerous than having a drink with you?
I'm not kidding. The old families, they were here long before us, and they'll be here long after we're gone.
The old families?
The descendants of the first whalers. These people truly worship their ancestors.
I need to get into the Hawkins warehouse.
You're out of luck. It's on my turf.
It's precisely for that reason that I've come to see you.
Are you pulling my leg?
Think it over. I've seen what you're capable of. And you didn't miss me.
I accept the compliment. Well, I see you're serious. To be honest, as long as it doesn't interfere with my business, I don't care. But I'll go with you, to make sure you don't stick your nose into things that don't concern you.
Sounds honest to me.
I'm not finished. If I do that for you, if I let you onto our turf to conduct your little affairs, you'll be indebted to me, and I guarantee that I always collect on what I'm owed. Think about it. I help you, you'll owe me a favor in return. Do you accept?
ну ладно, так
Do I have a
договорились.
choice?
Oh, we always have one, detective. Follow me.
Nobody questions your authority here. I was given to believe that Fitzroy stood up to you.
That dope tried to save face in front of his sailors. They revere their brave captain as they do their old statues. But sooner or later, all statues get buried in bird shit, and nobody cares.
And the police? They do nothing to stop you?
The local cops? The cops drink like everyone else, sweetheart. They know where their interests lie. Apart from that pig-headed Bradley, I don't know whether to admire his stubbornness or to have pity on him.
It's a sign. There's something coming.
Короче, это главная, типа, сучка острова. Всех держит в ежовых рукавицах. Да? Опа. Вот и все. Ладно, иди. Оу, щит.
We saw this guy poking around here.
It's fine. He's with me.
Oh, okay.
Be a gentleman and move that for me.
И чё, она на свой же склад вскрывает замок?
That's how it's done. Do I still need to hold your hand? Or do you think you'll get by on your own now?
Don't overdo it.
Good. In that case, I'll leave you. I've done enough mothering for now.
Oh, this place stinks. What is...
О, есть очко опыта.
The connection between this place and the Sarah Hawkins case.
Так, чтобы войти в место происшествия. А, сейчас тут типа у нас будет супер расследование. Так.
Who has enough money to buy painkillers, but stays in a place like this? It smells as bad as it looks.
Кишочки. Опа.
Is this one of Sarah Hawkins' paintings? What happened here? What is this picture of Charles and Sarah Hawkins doing here?
Так. И что нажать? Улики. О, ей всего 24 года. И она уже главарь банды. Охренеть. Так, у меня есть еще одно очко. Вот сюда вкачаю. Нет, хватит. Надо, наверное, оккультное. А, это только с помощью найденных предметов. Тогда вот так. Так, и чё? А заключение-то какое-нибудь будет?
Someone has settled in here.
And whoever it is, has something to tell me about the Hawkins case. Is there anyone in there? You! Don't move! You again. I told you to stay away from this warehouse.
Так, о, мозги. У меня мозги прокачаны. Давайте объединим силы.
It's clear that you knew the victims. I'm sorry to dig up bad memories.
I can still see the poor child lying burned on the floor of their drawing room. We had to tear him off. The marks must still be there. They're in my mind anyway.
It's horrendous. I'm going to need your experience to bring him justice, Officer Bradley. Can you explain what this painting is doing here?
This strange portrait. Wait, I know it. It was in the Hawkins mansion when we came to investigate the fire.
So you confirm that it was removed from the crime scene? Interesting. I'd like to go and see the mansion now.
Of course. You want to go back along his trail? I'd like to understand how this painting made it to here. Come on. My car's parked down the way.
Короче, вот эта картина оказалась каким-то образом тут. А ее тут не должно быть. Она из дома умерших, поэтому сейчас мы едем в этот дом. Опа, эта сучка идет.
This case has nothing to do with you, Baker. Clear the passage or I'll shut you up for obstruction.
Officer Bradley, you've finally grown a pair. Too bad you're too fat to see them down there.
Why you?
Come on, keep the smile. You don't want to force me to widen it.
Okay, I get it. Can we go to the mansion now?
I thought I'd straightened you out, mister. I am disappointed, but we'll meet again.
Is it far, this mansion?
Look behind you, at the top of the ridge. You see the building? That's the Hawkins mansion. Come on, we got some driving to do.
Так, глава 3. Сад вокруг особняка Хокинсов. Пирс смог пробраться на склад. Место, которое оказалось заброшенным, скрывало несколько тайн. Тут явно кто-то недавно жил. Кроме того, обнаружилась частично обгоревшая картина. Во время осмотра Пирса прервал констебль Брэдли, и детектив убедил его присоединиться к расследованию. Констебль хочет отвезти сыщика в особняк Хокинсов. Ничего мне не прерывал, я уже уходил. Так, я сейчас приду, налью себе водички.
Well, here we are, Hawkins Mansion. The place has been abandoned since the fire. There's only old Winchester in his hut.
Я приперся. Так. Констебль. Это место после пожара заброшено. Здесь живет только старый Винчестер в этой хижине. А вы хорошо знаете это место.
Don't think I was trying to hide it. It's just that this discovery shakes my convictions.
That's why you're so keen to find out who removed the painting from the mansion.
Yes. If something escaped us, or if there's been a law enforcement error, then it's up to the police to make good its mistake. Anything else?
Так, это место превращается в
I don't
руины.
believe the fire is the only reason this house is in such a state.
It's a very old building, you know? Its foundations would probably date from the arrival of the first settlers.
Huh. It's really that old.
Come on, let's leave the stories of the dead alone. They've nothing to do with your case anyhow. Let's go up there. Unless you still have questions.
Так. Так, мне стоит беспокоиться о чем-нибудь еще.
I prefer to be prepared if there's going to be trouble.
It's a wise attitude. But apart from old Silas and some rotten floorboards, there's nothing to worry about.
You're talking about Winchester.
That's right. The Hawkins' old caretaker. Strictly speaking, he ain't dangerous. But since the tragedy, he's been a little touched. Though, he's a remarkably sturdy man, given his age. A true force of nature.
A sad old man doesn't worry me.
Gee, if you don't want to listen to my advice, we might as well go. Right?
Так, вы не первый, кто говорит про
Your
Винчестера.
partner, Andrews, warned me against him.
You manage to get something out of that bum, I'll end up asking you for advice.
He talks too much. He inferred that old Silas was slightly unhinged.
That's not far off the mark, I suppose. But kinda unfair at the same time. You know, Silas Winchester has been working for the Hawkins family as far back as I can remember.
Короче, это, наверное, какой-нибудь
Charles was like
дворецкий.
his son to him. The day of the fire, he lost his whole family. So he's got nowhere to go. And, as you'll see, in a way, he's still watching over them. Is there anything else you want to ask me? Or do you want to go up there?
Так, не будем терять времени.
Night falls quickly here, and I want to be able to see when we arrive.
I'll go with you, if only to reassure Silas.
Why not?
Погнали
You
вместе.
can help.
Right. Let's go.
О, я сейчас буду с полицейским гонять. Наконец-то. То я не люблю во все эти в ужастиках, так говорят, давай разделимся. Что за тупняк? Я бы наоборот бы еще человек 5 бы с собой взял. Так, и куда он меня ведет, интересно? На кладбище, что ли? Фонарик.
The flowers on Sarah Hawkins' grave are
Так,
fresh.
цветы свежие.
The old caretaker must be very attached to her.
А, это типа
The
сторож
caretaker.
меняет цветы. Так, тут что?
Charles Hawkins' grave. Who could have done this?
I told you. Silas Winchester is still watching over the Hawkins family.
I must say, it's pretty gloomy.
So, Detective, does this place inspire any thoughts?
Why were they buried here?
I was given to believe that it was Charles Hawkins' wish.
Strange idea. I imagine Webster wasn't too pleased.
Mrs. Hawkins' father? It's said that he's devastated.
Let's go to the mansion.
Please give me a minute. I didn't expect to set foot
Poor
back
kid.
here after the burial.
Poor
What
kid.
kind of deranged individual would defile this sanctuary?
Poor kid.
Steal a burnt painting. I don't see Silas doing such a thing. Let alone allowing it. Even that broad baker is above that. Lord, have pity on this poor family.
Poor kid.
Бедный малыш. Так, ну чё, погнали.
The caretaker takes great care of these graves.
Наверное, тут будет стоять. Вот так красиво выглядит. Ну, конечно, жить в таком доме, так, наверное, пиздец.
Bradley was right. This place is much older than I imagined.
О, 1693. Похоже на дом семейки Адамсов. Так, мы оттуда приперлись, значит, нам, наверное, туда. О, маяк.
I'll have to find another entrance. This entrance is still in use.
Ой.
Whoa! You are trying to force the door, you nosy prick!
Easy, sir, all right? Put down the axe.
You know what we do with rubble like you? We gut them. Dump them into the ocean.
Whoa! You're
Ой.
Mr.
Чё,
Winchester. Lower that axe. Let's talk calmly.
I'll show you how we have it out on Darkwater.
Put down the axe, and I'll forget that you threatened a cop.
Show your badge, cop, and then we can talk.
You don't need to see my badge.
You're a bad liar, city boy. For the last time, tell me why you're here. And no baloney.
The police report describes a domestic accident. But Stephen Webster has several reasons to believe that this may not be the case.
Webster is as stubborn as an old mule. And I did tell him that we should let the dead rest in peace.
He wants to restore the reputation of his daughter. I just need to see where the fire started.
The mansion isn't safe. You would break your neck as sure as you're trying my patience right now.
That's why you barricaded the entrance.
That's right.
And this door?
It's locked, and I make sure it stays that way.
Так, ты был привязан к Салли.
You still put flowers on her grave. You cherish her memory.
Mrs. Hawkins was an exceptional person. She cared for everyone around her.
Let me shed a light on what happened to her. Give me that key.
I'm probably making a big mistake, but it won't be the first. Here, take the key and do what you have to do. Go on,
Я
then,
его ломал всё-таки.
just to get rid of you.
Let's see what more I can learn from this mansion.
What now?
Do you have a moment?
What now?
Nothing. Sorry.
Stop wasting my time.
Ой, блядь, а ты пиздец как занят, конечно. Так, а что тут еще есть? Вон там какой-то домик. Ну, то, что касается атмосферы, тут, конечно, прикольно все сделано. Это, наверное, дом охранника.
The poor wretch seems to spend the best part of his time rather Spartan. The caretaker has simple tastes.
Да, это дом охранника.
Pierce, shall we enter?
Погнали.
Let's take a look inside.
I'm with you.
Так. Глава 3. Особняк Хокинсов. Пирс и констебль Брэдли осмотрели сады окружающего особняка Хокинсов. Семья похоронена в саду, который охраняет Салис Винчестер. Старый сторож, все еще верный своим прежним нанимателям и вооруженный топором, присматривает за могилами. Пирс и Брэдли смогли успокоить его и, наконец, завладеть ключом от особняка Хокинсов. Они вошли в здание, чтобы посмотреть место, откуда начался пожар.
Follow me. I know the place. Who left this light on?
Блядь, да почему тут цвет-то от всего зеленый? Ну, типа, ни у кого не возникает вопросов. Мне, конечно, это нравится вот такой цвет, но странно.
The Last Supper of the Hawkins. What does this tell me?
О. Сейчас будем расследовать. О, хлебушек.
What kind of meat is this?
А, это мясо.
This place is for the head of the family, Charles Hawkins. The boy was probably here. Smashed his plate on the floor.
Так, тут типа парень сидел, а тут жена.
Sarah Hawkins didn't eat. Was it because of the meat or something else? Something happened at this table. An argument?
Блин, Сара Хокинс, ее так нарисовали, как будто она персонаж из диснеевских мультиков. А муж у нее какой-то, как будто этот, какой-то дровосек-барбер.
Hey, Pierce. Daydreaming again?
Working, officer. This dinner table tells us a lot about the Hawkins family life.
Well, we don't have all day. The scene of the fire is next door.
Так, ну пойдемте в соседнюю комнату.
Silas managed to bring
Let's
the
see if I
fire
can
under
find something the
control,
cops missed.
but it was already too late for the Hawkins.
The child's corpse left a trace. Where are the others?
Так, детский труп ставили тут.
Did it stop at the time of the fire? Did Sarah Hawkins lose one of her shoes? How?
О, кто-то пил.
Was Charles Hawkins a heavy drinker? If the painting I found on the docks really came from here, how come it didn't burn?
Короче, вот это на этой картине потому кажется, что это главный герой. Ой, а что, еще не все?
They had a fight. Why?
Так, а чё, я еще не все осмотрел, что меня отсюда не выпускает-то? Или надо типа... А, вот.
Did someone escape the fire?
Короче, тут походу был кто-то третий.
Blood. This lamp was thrown. This was no accident.
Короче, кто-то их грохнул.
This was a fight. Someone fell here.
Ну, блядь, как он так зажигалку-то держит долго? Она бы уже вся... Руки бы уже все обгорели. Ну, горячо бы было. Как она так не тухнет? Ну, пока просто бродилка. Мы вот уже играем почти 3 часа. Или 2, наверное. Ну, тут стрельбы будет совсем мало, вроде как.
I think that some of your colleagues should turn in their badges. This room is bursting with evidence that seriously contradicts the official inquiry.
Well, of course, Mr. Holmes. Like what?
It would seem at least one person fled the crime scene.
What'd you say?
That mark on the door. Someone's hand slid down there. The left side has no mark. The door was open and that someone left.
For God's sake. I mean, if it's Charles or Sarah, they wouldn't have left their son.
They would rather die in the flames as a family instead of calling for help? I don't buy it.
Oh, yeah?
I was under the impression the fire started around midnight.
Yes, Silas banged on our door around 1 a.m. Poor devil ran
Короче,
so
в
hard
их
his
смерти
nose
тут,
belched his
походу, не
lungs
все
out.
так гладко.
This clock burned before 10 p.m.
That's impossible. What you imply? Silas never would have hurt the Hawkins family. Besides, Dr. Fuller confirmed the hour of death in his report. Your clock must have already have stopped.
О, какой-то доктор появился.
Brilliant surgeon and a friend of the family. I'm sure he took the matter to heart. I see no reason to doubt his word.
So be it. Let's move on. I can tell where young Simon was, but not his parents. Where were their bodies found?
I can't help you on that one. Charles and Sarah's bodies had already been carried away when I got here.
Without your authorization? By whom?
Marshall, Andrews, Chief West. We never deal with cases like that, you know. So... well...
I'm sorry, Bradley. I found a bottle of whiskey. Empty.
Charles sure liked a drink.
No glass. I suspect one of them drank heavily to calm down. Charles, most probably.
That's pretty thin. Who says that bottle hadn't been there for a while?
I suspect this lamp caused the fire.
That's what the investigation suggested, too.
But does your report mention the bloodstains? The lamp didn't fall, it was thrown at someone.
For heaven's sakes, no. The report doesn't mention that.
I firmly believe this fire was more than just an accident.
Huh. What's your theory?
Так, это поджог.
Someone deliberately set fire to this mansion.
You sure of that?
There's only one way to be sure.
I just ask that you don't disturb anything. If Chief West found out about what we're doing, I'd be in serious trouble.
О, история медицины. Еще прокачали немножечко навык. Вот жалко, что я про оккульты еще ни одну книжку не нашел. Да почему тут все лампы зеленым светом горят? Блять.
It's quite a building, don't you think? Do you know that the Hawkins were among the wealthiest families on the island?
Moby Dick.
Oh, Moby
Melville's classic. The epic battle between man and whale. Mandatory reading for any whaler, I guess. What do you know about Charles Hawkins' activities?
Well, not much, to be honest. We all assumed the Hawkins lived on Charles's inheritance. If you're right, we should be able to find clues among the Hawkins' personal effects.
A book on the first inhabitants of the island. It seems they got here around the 14th century.
Так, короче, нам тут надо сейчас, наверное, как я понимаю, искать улики.
This piano is in disrepair. Looks like the Hawkins kept it more for decoration than for music. Darkwater history. This place was settled back in 1692 by a book on hunting whales, the island's staple diet last century.
Oh.
One of Sarah Hawkins' paintings. Her style sure is recognizable.
Так, смотреть особняк.
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Another story about the mysteries of the deep. Greek mythology. Hecate, goddess of the dead, daughter of Tartarus, and mother of Scylla.
О, дочь Тартара.
Greek mythology.
Приправы.
Hecate, goddess of the dead, daughter of Tartarus,
Ой.
and mother of Scylla.
Что тут был проход?
What could Sarah have done to make this person threaten to call the police?
Что могла натворить Сара, чтобы этот человек угрожал ей полицией? Милостивый государь, как вам известно, я всегда с огромным уважением относилась к вам и вашей семье. К сожалению, я более не могу закрывать глаза на поведение вашей жены. На прошлой неделе она вновь распугала мою клиентуру. Я знаю, что она не имеет дурных намерений, но вам не мешало бы поместить ее под надзор доктора Фуллера. Похоже, только он способен вразумить ее. Если же подобные случаи будут повторяться, я буду вынужден хоть обратиться в полицию. Хотя поверьте, что это станет для меня истинной пыткой. С уважением, всегда ваш Антон Уэлдер. Короче, жена что-то тут творила.
Locked.
Блять, нихуя не видно.
The boys' room.
О, комната мальчика.
A child's fort. From what threat was Simon protecting his world? Tom Sawyer. Mark Twain. Sarah must have read it to him before bed. Sleeping pills. Strong for an 11-year-old boy. What was wrong with this family? What nightmarish vision could have inspired them? Simon's troubles went beyond family problems. That kid saw something. Something terrified him.
Да, что-то тут, в общем, было не так. Ой. О.
The argument that led to their tragic end seems to have been simmering for some time.
Так, дневник Саймона. Личный дневник Саймона. Похоже, он переживал из-за матери ее приступов. В семье Хокинсов, похоже, растет напряжение. Мог ли пожар вспыхнуть из-за ссоры?
Locked.
О, вот тут знак вопроса появляется. О, вот тут что-то есть. Опа, ключик. А вот, наверное, сюда, да, ключик? Опа.
Was Sarah Hawkins interested in the occult? What was she trying to achieve?
Оккультизм.
Despite what happened, they seem to have loved each other. This ledger lists all of the paintings Sarah Hawkins sold.
А, это проданные картины. Неплохо она зарабатывала. Если, тем более, сейчас, если это в доллары все перевести или в фунты.
It seems the last one was given for free to a Francis Sanders. I wonder why. Sarah Hawkins' agent was getting worried. Seems she wasn't giving any signs of life.
Так, агент Сары Хокинс начинала беспокоиться. Похоже, она не поддавала признаков жизни. Короче, какой-то, чувак, наверное, который продавал ее картины, она давно не выходила с ним на связь, и тут все это описано. Читать я это не буду, я уже устал.
The door is blocked on the other side.
Так, тут вроде все.
Bradley? Is that you?
Ой, вон там что-то открыта дверь, да? Опа, опа.
Is anyone there?
А тут барабашка. Опа. Нарисованный наш персонаж.
You! Stop!
А ну стой.
Bradley, did you see which way he went?
Who? I didn't see anyone. I just heard some noise. Are you all right?
A man was hiding on the upper level. He ran when he saw me. He can't be far.
I'll cover you.
This door was closed earlier.
Не сильно мы торопимся ловить вора, конечно.
Where did he go? It looks like an old seaway map.
Так, карта.
Do you really think
А, это масло для фонаря.
I don't see any way out.
They look like Celtic runes.
О,
Charles
аккуратно.
must have brought them back from one of
Я
his
типа прокачал этот. Чуть-чуть, да.
foreign trips. Clearly, Charles Hawkins knew Captain Fitzroy very well.
О, капитан. А это я помню. Врач, короче, в сумасшедшем доме будет.
I wonder who the man with the glasses is in the photograph. It looks like a freehand map of Darkwater. Certain areas have been highlighted. I wonder why. The Scylla. It's the boat that was stranded at the entrance to the harbor.
Вот это лодка из этой. Из истории про кита, которую в начале
This
читали.
panel is movable.
Опа.
Cogwheels. They must be linked to an opening mechanism. Probably a secret passage. I must find a way to activate the opening mechanism. Damnation. I can't budge these gears. I need a tool.
Вот силу-то не качал. Блять. Я надо искать.
This globe seems to have been part of some mechanism. Doesn't work. I
И,
must have missed
наверное,
something.
где-то тут есть, блядь, подсказка. Так, вот тут какие-то координаты есть. Так, а чё? Ой.
Doesn't work. I must have missed something.
Так, вот этот кружочек самый такой жесткий. Это вот что интересно. Вот где треугольнички. Америка написано.
Doesn't work. I must have missed something. Doesn't work. I must have missed something. Doesn't work. I must have missed something. Doesn't work. I must have missed something.
Так, ничего не понимаю. Так, мне кажется, надо нажать кружочком, где вот эти плюсики выделены. Это Америка и вот эта вот хрень.
Doesn't work. I must have missed something. Doesn't work.
Может и нет.
I must have missed something. Doesn't work. I must have missed something. Doesn't work. I must have missed something.
Пойдем дальше смотреть карту. Так, сзади ничего нету. Так. Если вот сюда нажать, ну-ка. Блять, ну я и тут.
Looks like it worked.
Well done, Pierce.
Ой-ой-ой. Какое-то подвальное помещение. Так, глава 4. Туннели под особняком Хокинсов. Комната в особняке Хокинсов, где начался пожар, пролила свет на многое. Пирс и констебль Брэдли в поисках улик напали на след уцелевшего во время пожара. Когда человек в капюшоне ворвался в мастерскую Сары Хокинс, чтобы похитить ее картину, детектив и полицейские бросились вслед за ним. Последовав за взломщиком до кабинета Чарльза Хокинса, они обнаружили потайной ход. Пирс и Брэдли спустились в туннель, идущий под особняком.
Secret passage under the manor. It's like a detective novel. That guy must have already.
Так, ну игра сохранилась. И продолжим в следующий раз. Для первого раза уже нормально так прошли. Уже 4 глава. Поэтому как раз начало. И до следующего четверга. Всем, кто смотрел, спасибо. И до новых встреч. Всем пока.